little late, but we can start. Uh, while we wait for him to come, we can already start. You may start asking your questions. Okay. So
Hello,
just
ma'am.
yes, yes. So that we
Ma'am,
can please
yes,
just a moment,
ma'am.
just a moment, just a moment.
Okay,
Just give me a moment. Okay. So those of you are asking questions, I think it would be better if you raise your hands and then unmute yourself and speak, so that you don't end up speaking about the other, right? So right. Whoever was the first one, please go ahead. You can speak now.
yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, I want to ask about due to my physical conditions, I wasn't available till now in any class. So, what should I do to cover all the
Well,
things
it
and
all
my
the
assignment is uploaded of first
see
week?
as far as the sessions are concerned, all of them are recorded, so they are available. Along with your links to any of these sessions. If you go to that link for the respective dates, you will have either the recordings or the playlist available, so you can access these sessions from there, right? Including the live session which happens on Wednesday, which is this one, right? Um, so yeah, that should be all right. But like other things are anyway accessible to you, so there's no restriction to it. These are in graded sessions, but then it would be helpful for you to understand the topic a bit more clearly, right? So you can see these recordings and see to yourself if it is useful for you or not, right? So don't worry about having not been able to attend it in person. You can look at the recordings, right?
Ma'am, first week's assignment, I wasn't able to
Oh,
upload that.
so yeah, this is an administrative question. So I think I'll suggest you that you write to the course support. They will tell you the procedure for how to, deal with issues like this. So it's better you contact them because we do not handle administrative questions, right? Um, they will tell you exactly what you should be doing in order to process such problems. Okay. So please write to the course support team and they'll let you know what can be done if you have missed an assignment or if there's another way. Usually, I think they take 8 or so. I'm not sure exactly. So it's okay if you have missed one, but then you may still write to them and ask if you can make up for it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Right. Who else? I don't see any hands up, but you can unmute and speak if there's anyone who's willing to speak and has any questions to ask. Anyone?
Ma'am, I
English
have a
one?
little doubt.
Sorry?
Ma'am, I have a little doubt in adverb and adjective.
Okay, go ahead. What's your doubt?
Ma'am, in some
You,
problem I
huh.
get confused. There should be it is an adjective or adverb. Can you please clear it?
Right. See, there doesn't you don't have to be confused about adverbs and adjectives at all. Although I understand the confusion comes from the fact that both of them are what? They're modifiers, right? So the function of an adjective or an adverb, both in a sentence is to modify. They modify different elements, but the basic function for both adjectives and adverbs is to modify. Now, what do adjectives modify? So this is your test. When you have to differentiate between or, distinguish between which component is an adverb versus what is an adjective, this is the test you're going to do. If the word that you're looking at is modifying or describing or qualifying, they all mean the same thing, right? In this context, if it is modifying a noun, right, then it is definitely what? An adjective. Okay, right? And if the word concerned is modifying either a verb or an adjective or another adverb, then it is an adverb, right? Let's look at an example to understand that. So if I give you an expression like, no, beautiful girl, right? So is beautiful an adjective or an adverb?
Ma'am, it's an adjective.
Right. And how do you know that? That's the,
Ma'am, it's coming before girl, which is
it's a,
noun.
girl is a noun, right? So the test is always this. You have to check whether the component that is being modified is a noun or a verb, adverb, or an adjective. If the word that is being modified is a verb, adverb, or an adjective, then definitely the one that is modifying is an adverb. So, for example, say you have something like you know, mm, we'll take an example of adverb that modifies a verb, right? So, can you give me an example? An adverb that modifies a verb.
Mm,
See, say you say she sings beautifully, right? If that is your sentence, right? So, what's your adverb here? She sings beautifully.
beautifully.
Beautifully. And what is it modifying? She sings
Mm,
beautifully.
please, verb.
The verb
It is
sing,
more
right?
verb.
So the verb sing. So this is one example, right? One example of an adverb which modifies a verb. Sings beautifully. Beautifully is the adverb which modifies the verb. Now, what was the second instance? The second instance of a word being an adverb is when it modifies or it qualifies an adjective, right? Can you give me an example for that? Maybe use the same sentence, right? We don't have to look around for newer examples. If I have to add another adverb here, right? So you already have beautifully. So if I say she sings very beautifully, right? Now, what is your adverb here? You have two adverbs here now. You have both very and beautifully. These are both adverbs. And very is the adverb which is modifying the adverb beautifully. Okay. So
Yes,
remember,
ma'am. Yes.
beautifully modifies the verb sings. Very is another adverb which modifies the adverb beautifully. Right? This is called a degree adverb. Okay. Right. So these are two
Yes, ma'am.
instances. Now there is one more instance where you can, use an adverb. That is when it qualifies or modifies an adjective. Right? What is that? I have a sentence like she is. Um, Something that modifies an adjective. Could you come up with an example? We have looked at a case of adverb as well as a verb, but now what we need is an adverb. Sorry, adjective. Okay, say she is a very good singer, for example, right? If this is your sentence, she is a very good singer. Okay. So
Yes,
what are your adverbs here? She is a very good singer. What's the adverb here?
ma'am. Very
Very. Right. And what is it modifying? She is a very good
good.
singer. Good. And
Good.
good is what? It's an adjective. Right?
Yes,
Okay, so
ma'am.
these are
Got
the
it.
three instances. So the difference between adjective and adverb is about what it qualifies, right? They're
Yeah,
both
am I audible?
modified. Okay, just a moment. We are still
All
talking. You
right,
can talk after we finish.
all right.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Got it.
Fine. Right. Okay. Now, next person, whoever that was, please speak up.
Okay.
Huh.
Ma'am, could you please explain degree adverb?
Degree adverb. Degree
Yeah.
adverbs are the kind of adverbs that show you the extent to which something happens, right? For example, words like very, quiet, almost, rather, or extremely, completely. These are all called degree adverbs. So you
Okay.
say
At
something is
least is
good.
not.
Sorry, which one?
At least is not a degree adverb.
No, no, no. At least is not.
Extreme.
Extreme is not an adverb at all. Extreme is an adjective. Okay,
Means
extreme heat.
extreme. For example, if someone is extremely talented, or
Extremely is an adverb. Extreme is not an adverb. Extreme is an adjective. If I say extreme heat, so extreme is an adjective, but
okay.
extremely, yes, it's an
So
adverb.
in this
And it is an
sentence,
adverb.
that if someone is extremely talented, then
Hmm.
extremely is a degree adverb in this sentence, or what?
No, no, not in this context. In this context, you'll simply mark it as an adverb. Yeah, you can say it's a degree adverb. That's sure.
Okay. Okay. In
Extremely
this
talented.
sentence, extremely is a degree adverb,
Hmm.
right?
Degree. Yes, that's right.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay, no problem.
Continue.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please explain the difference between short vowel sounds and long vowel sounds? Actually, I always face a problem between these two.
Yeah, that's bound to happen at this stage unless you are practicing. So I think I have on several occasions for the class and even the previous live sessions, we have explained in detail what you should be doing. I'll just say again for the sake of it, but you should also look back at the sessions that happened, right? A lot of the questions that you address would probably have already been addressed. So either you ask in the forum so that, someone can direct you to the, session or video on which this was explained, so that it's easier, right? But
Yes, ma'am.
since you asked, see, short vowel and long vowel, the only difference between them would be of the length, right, and the duration. So this you can only gauge by doing some kind of contrastive analysis. So like I've always mentioned even before, the first thing that you need to do as a part of exercises concerning short and long vowels is to have a list of these short and long vowels and maybe a group of words, at least 3 of them, or at least one of them if 3 is too much, right? At least one. You cannot go beyond or below that. So beyond you can, but of course below is not possible. So have at least a word with each of these long and short counterparts ready with you, a list of your own, so that you can use these examples to contrast with the word that is given in the question, okay, whether for the exam or assignment or anywhere. Right. So for say E and E, you have words on of your own. There are some things that's given in the lecture. You may use that, but it's always better that you come up with something on your own so that you remember well, right, for the exam. That, or to put it
Yes,
the other way around, you don't have to remember at all, right? Use those words and the word which carries whichever the long or short vowel that you have in the question, and compare and contrast with the sounds, right? With the set of words that you have and the word that you have there, right? If you do this contrastive analysis, you will understand whether the question that they ask is whether the sound in the question is a long or a short one, right? This is the method to crack the questions. Now, the actual way you should be doing it is to train your ears. This also we have told you before. You will have to listen to more content in English, original content, right? Something that is worth listening to, right? That can be anything. It could be movies, or if you listen to podcasts, well and good, because it's also informative. So you can watch that. Train your ears to listen to these sounds, right? So it would take some time, and then after it is trained well enough, you'll be able to distinguish between a long and short. But because these are things which might take a little bit of time, I have suggested the other method. Okay, so that is only with respect to questions and exams and everything else, or logistic things that we talk about. But for the sake of learning, you will have to go the hard way, which is to immerse yourself more into the language, the target language that you're learning, right? Listen to more content, watch more content, listen and train your ears. Got it, Arohi?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank
Right?
you,
So the
ma'am.
confusions would go away only with that. Okay, it will persist if you're not going to put efforts into this, right? To begin with, please have this list ready, all of you. Everybody who's facing issue with that, please start doing this exercise so that you don't get confused in the exam. Yes, somebody else's hand is raised. No, okay, that person has lowered. Anybody else? Any question? We have time, so please utilize this. We do not get to talk that often or interact. So while you have time, please make use of it. If you have any questions, anything that requires conceptual clarity, please come up with your doubts so that we can address them. Yes, please ask. I see your hands are Pratik. Pratik?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have doubt in that when to do the article or no article.
Article or no article? Okay.
Yes,
What's,
ma'am.
can you please give me the, see, we only look at articles in functional grammar in the way we teach here. We don't remember all these rules because that's not how we should do it. So if you have a question or a sentence, then maybe we can comment on why we would use an article or why we would not use it. Give me a sentence, that specific sentence that you have a doubt with, and we'll address it.
Okay, ma'am.
Sure, bring it and we can look at it. Right. Any other questions? Anyone?
audible?
Not very clear.
Is this okay now?
No, I still cannot hear you properly.
Okay, it's fine now.
Okay, better. Please ask the question. I'll try and understand what
Okay,
it is.
so ma'am, could you please help that I think half an hour reading, listening, and hearing something means in English language will be more helpful to cope up with the language, right?
See, any amount of reading or listening is certainly going to be helpful. So there's no, upper limit or anything on the time, right? Half an
Okay.
hour is okay to begin with, but what you should always focus on is increasing that time a little by little, right? So if
Okay.
at this point you cannot give more than half an hour, it's fine. So start with half an hour
Okay.
if that is what is comfortable for you, right? And then later on, as you read and you pick up some speed, and if you're able to understand more, slightly, keep increasing the time little by little. Maybe add another 10 minutes, right? After a week or two, make it 40 minutes.
Yes.
Then another week or two, make it 50 minutes. So just keep
Okay.
increasing
To
it a little
increase
bit.
the
So
time.
yes, right. So
Okay. So all.
there's no,
Hmm.
nothing like, these many hours should be the upper limit or this should be the minimum. It entirely depends on you, right? You can do that at your pace. No problem.
So also I was facing some problem to remember complex vocab continuously while
Yes.
talking
You
with
keep reading,
someone. Means
keep reading.
yeah.
That would definitely help you, right? Vocabulary, there's no other way to acquire vocabulary other than continuous immersion in the language, whether in the form of reading or listening, right? So continue doing
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, beginning with half an hour to whatever you want to take it to, whichever the time limit is, and you will see a steady increase in the vocabulary, right? That's the way we do it.
Okay. So reading novels or any book will be more helpful.
Anything that is of interest to you. Okay, do not pick up something that would take away your attention because it's not interesting or you don't find anything to read in that. Whatever
Yes.
interests you, whichever topic you're interested in, please pick up that and start reading. Okay, beginning is
Okay.
the most important part. You need to get to the
Yes.
habit of
Yes, ma'am.
doing it.
I
Okay,
already I have
sure,
already
good.
begun
Very
for
good, you
that.
can continue with what.
Also, ma'am, is there any tips to uh, learn any means meaning or vocab?
No, again, learning is again part of this reading and listening and all. Okay, lot of you cannot you can look up the meaning in case if it is unclear, but every time you shouldn't have a situation where you need to run back to the dictionary. So this problem is also solved with continuous reading because most of the meanings of the words are contextual. So as you read further, you will be able to decipher the meaning from the context itself. You won't even need a dictionary. So that is what you need to train yourself for. Okay. In the beginning, you can get back to the dictionary, but as you will, you will see to this yourself. As you make progress in the reading and the listening aspect, most of the meanings you'll be able to guess from the context correctly. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you
I
don't have to
used
put
to
in
do
any
that.
special efforts to learn meanings differently because that's not going to work, right? You're depending much more, you're giving too much pressure to your memory to learn. That is not going to help in long run. So just do what is required. Just keep reading and listening and learn to understand things from the context. That is what is going
Okay.
to, that would be retained better with you. Okay.
Okay. To guess the meaning of the sentence, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thanks,
And
ma'am.
guess in the sense educated guess, not random guess. And that would come to you
Yeah,
only
yeah.
if you read. Okay.
Relatable guess, right?
Yes, yes. Right.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, right. Anybody else? Any questions? People from English one, anyone with any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Go ahead. Oh, okay. No doubts, you said. Fine. Fine. English too? Anyone? Yeah, you can speak. Vaibhav?
Ma'am, what is intonation?
Intonation. Intonation is related to the, the way, the tone in which you speak. So you have mostly two, but sometimes people also talk about a neutral tone. You have a rising intonation and a falling intonation. So
Okay.
usually, when you're making a statement, you have another tone which you call as the neutral or the flat tone, which
Yes, ma'am.
neither rises nor falls, right? But usually, more generally, right? When you ask a question, usually people have a rising tone, right? It begins with a low and then the pitch goes above as you speak, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
usually when you're quizzing, you're asking someone or confirming something with somebody, usually the rise is, the usual tone is or the intonation is rising intonation, right? But when you're not sure about something, for example, right, you're making a statement which you don't think people would agree with, or say you're just not very sure about it, then you use a falling intonation,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So it's a prosodic feature. So it's more important in your spoken language than the written one, right? And they carry meanings, right? The way you use the tones can indicate meanings. It can add meaning to what you're saying. So which is why it's an important part of the studies on language. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. No problem. Right. Others, questions? Anyone?
Yeah, ma'am, I had one question.
Okay.
Ma'am, I did not submit my week one graded assignment of two
Hmm.
courses due to some technical issues. But can I score? Can I qualify for qualifier exam after submitting week two assignments?
I think it should be okay, but I'm not very sure. I would suggest you to write to the court support, right? They'll give you a detailed explanation on this. Or you can ask your peers, right? They might know. But for better clarity, you can write to the course support. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what will be the syllabus for quiz one exam?
Week 1 through 4. This is you're from English 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Week 1 to 4. For both English 1 and 2, it would be week 1 to 4. Both qualifier as well as the quiz 1 people, both week 1 to 2. Sorry, 1 to 4.
1 to 4. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
Ma'am, can I give the answer of the last doubt which he asked?
Which one? Yeah, sure. Please do.
Ma'am, he can give the qualifier exam, but he have to attend the second week question assignment, graded assignment. He have to at least score for 80% in that, so that the total percentage get by him is 40%
Okay.
to get into
Thank
the
you.
hall.
Yeah, this is the
You're
perfect
welcome.
answer of my question. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that. Others, anybody, any questions for us? Shresh,
Mama, I had a question. Can you please explain what are consonant clusters?
consonant clusters. Consonant clusters are combination of two or three consonants in a word. Like, for example, look at the word cluster itself, right? It begins with a consonant cluster. There's a combination of the k and the l sound. You see that? Right? So, in English, you will have two to three, right? Three is definitely possible. Four consonant clusters also are possible, but they are very, very rare and very limited in number, right? The largest clusters would be found in the combination of two consonants, right? You would have 3 as well, considerable number, and 4 would be like very, it would be very less, okay, or we can also call that as a very rare case, right? But the concept is that you will have a combination of several consonants. That's called a cluster, okay? And to highlight on the process that happens in the cluster formation, every consonant sound has an inbuilt vowel, right? So when I say k, it ends with the sound right? So that's an inbuilt vowel, and you can see that in all the consonant sounds. When a cluster is formed, this inbuilt vowel is deleted. Okay? This is the process of cluster formation.
Okay.
And cluster is basically combination of the consonant sounds. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Somebody
Could you
Vaibhav and
please,
Raj.
yes, ma'am, could you please elaborate with some examples?
Okay, one example is cluster, like the word itself. So again, you have k and l as the consonant cluster here, right? Kla. Then with the 3 consonant one, you have a word like spring. Spring.
Screw.
There are certain rules for this. I hope you have watched the lectures for that, right? So there are rules regarding what sort of combinations are possible, particularly with the consonant consonant cluster which has 3 consonants in combination. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So one of the example, you can think for other examples meanwhile. So let me begin by giving you an example, which is the word spring. Okay, so what are the sounds that are in cluster here?
SPR, I guess.
Not SPR. How do you say that? It's S, P, and R. Okay?
Okay,
Sounds are
PR.
S, P, and R. No, don't say SPR. That's not how you say. The sounds are called S, P, and R, right?
Yes.
So, spring. This has how many sounds, how many consonant sounds in the cluster? 3, right? S, P, and R. So this is
Yes.
also a possible and a possible combination, and there are considerable number of words in English with this combination, right? So instead of the R sound, you can have other sounds after sa and pa. So in a 3 combination cluster, usually the first and the second sounds are always sa and pa in English. Okay, we're talking about English. Don't forget that. So, for a 3 consonant cluster, the first 2 sounds are always the first one sa, second one pa, and then the third one could be r, l, and there's one more. What is that? T. Sorry. Right. So there are 3 ones. I do not immediately
Okay.
get the third one, but it's r and yeah. Was anyone saying anything?
Okay, so instead of spring, we can take split
Yeah.
as well, right?
Sorry, which one?
Instead of a spring, saw, per, and saw, per, and also is a
Yes. Like
cluster, right?
splash, right? A
So,
word like splash. So it's going to have
saw,
sapala, sapara.
right?
Huh.
Okay.
Yes. There's one more which I am unable to remember at the moment, but these 3 are the ones that you use. Okay. So
Okay, ma'am.
there's
I will get on
restrictions
it.
to it. Huh.
Okay.
But when it comes to 4 consonant clusters, it's going to be really limited, right? There are words, but then they are going to be very few in number, right? But the more number of combinations are always with 2 consonant clusters. Okay, I hope you've got the point.
Yes, ma'am.
The details and the specifics, of course, you can figure it out using examples. So that's not a big deal. But if you've understood the concept, it should be fine.
All right.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah, Vibhav, we can ask. No problem.
Ma'am, question is, what is an oxymoron, ma'am? And can you give some example, ma'am?
Oxymoron, yeah, figure of speech, and usually oxymoron are they represent contrasting words or words with opposite meanings, right?
Opposite meaning.
So opposite meanings, like for example, bittersweet experience, right?
Bit-
So
Okay, ma'am.
bittersweet is an oxymoron, right?
Bittersweet is an oxymoron.
It's an oxymoron.
Yes, ma'am.
And one thing that you need to keep in mind is that oxymoron is always it's a pair of two opposing words that come together, right? Unlike say paradox or antithesis, wherein you have statements or situations in contrast to each other. Oxymoron, you only have that one two words in opposition,
Ma'am,
right?
for
With
example,
opposite.
fate, unfaithful is kind of oxymoron. Can we say this?
What is that? Sorry.
Ma'am, like example, fate, unfaithful. Is this
Fate
an
and faithful. No, they are not oxymorons.
ma'am? Some you have said that two opposing words are present.
But they should be together. It doesn't mean that the words are separate from each other. Okay. So you can look for other examples. One example is of course bittersweet, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Other examples
I'm
would be
like
yeah, just a
sweet
moment.
poison.
Sorry.
I'm like sweet poison.
Okay, sweet poison. Yes, although I'm not very sure of its usage, I do not see it as a prominent or popular example. Um, let's look for a few more. I think you can there are words like silent scream or the one other popular one is deafening silence. Okay, deafening
Yes, ma'am.
silence is also an example of an oxymoron. Okay, so the point here is that there will be only two words which have opposite meanings, right? In the case of oxymoron. Okay,
And what about organized chaos?
organized chaos. Yes, that's also a good example of oxymoron. Correct.
Ma'am, and what is
Or
paradox, ma'am?
something like open secret, right? People use this also very commonly. Open secret. So paradox is same. Paradox is same, except that what is in contrast with each other are situations. So instead of words, you will have situations opposing each other, like contrastive situations.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So something like less is more, the beginning of the end. These are all examples of paradox. Okay.
Got it.
Statements like you have to have money to make money, so on and so forth. Okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Right. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Is this time okay, guys, for you? I see some 70 people here. Is this time okay, or do you think we can change the time a little bit? Go ahead. Somebody has raised hands to speak. Somebody has raised the hand. Can you speak?
Yes, sir, it's
Who is that? M Media. Can you speak? And please join with your actual name.
Sir, can
Sir,
it be half
sir,
hour delayed?
What? Can we?
Sir, we start the session means it was from 5 today, no? So we can
Correct.
start it from 5:30 because I'm having another degree in college, so I get departed in 5:15, so I have to run out of time.
Okay.
Plus, we have a maths TA session at this time, so it would be better if it begins from 5:30.
Okay. Well, this is why I'm getting your opinion on this, so we'll think about it. Okay. Good. So if you are done with your questions, can we close the session now?
Sir, actually, I joined a little late because I was attending maths TA session. I
That's
I
okay.
was having a doubt actually.
Ah,
Sir, in the statement, he brought a gift for her sister is
ah.
for preposition or conjunction.
Say it again.
He brought a gift for her sister.
He brought a gift for her sister. Okay. So what's the question?
Is it preposition or conjunction?
For that is to understand that answer, you have to know what is a preposition and what is a conjunction. Right? That's the question. Understand? So
Yes, sir.
a preposition is a category which comes before a noun. So and a conjunction is a category that connects two categories. So this question is about which element in this question? What is the question, leader? He brought a
Gift for her sister.
For a sister, and he's asking whether for in this sentence is a conjunction or a preposition.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. So you need to know what is a conjunction and what is a preposition. So this one I can tell you, this is a preposition. Okay. But you have to understand what's a preposition and what's a conjunction to answer this question. Okay.
Right, sir. So in the definition, we studied that prepositions are the words that show relationship between time, place, and possession. So here, what is it that for is showing relation for? It's neither time nor place nor possession. So that's why I'm confused. How is it preposition?
It can time, place, and all. There could be more reasons for more kinds of things for preposition. So understand?
Okay, so it's
basic point is conjunctions are elements like and, or, etc. Prepositions are elements like in, on, at, for. They indicate the certain aspects about noun and they come only before a noun. Okay.
right, sir. So I mean, can't we have a broader definition for preposition so that we could identify easily? Because we studied words that show relationship between in time, place, and position, but here we have an exception to this definition.
There is no exception. Time, place. There is no exception to this thing. What I am saying is, time, place, and position has to be broadened. That's what you are asking for, a broader thing. So it only indicates the position of a noun in a sentence. That will be the definition for a preposition. But my point is, I don't want you to memorize definitions. I want you to understand what's a preposition. Understand? Preposition will only come in front of a noun. That's the best identifying feature for a preposition. And there are only a limited number of prepositions in every language, including English. Okay?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have another doubt.
Sure. Go ahead.
Just a second, sir. Sir, this is the same word for. Is it coordinating conjunction or subordinating conjunction? Coordinate? Yeah. So this is the question.
In this sentence, see, in this sentence, there is no question of coordinating or subordinating. It's just
not in this question in general.
No. See, this is not how prepositions are defined. This coordinating and subordinating stuff comes only when there is a subordinate clause in a sentence. Okay.
I mean, I'm asking, is for coordinating conjunction or subordinating conjunction in general?
Okay, can you tell me what do you mean by coordinating conjunction? Coordinating Sorry, this is not even a conjunction. I am saying this is a preposition.
No, sir, I'm not talking about that particular sentence now. I'm just asking in general now. That is for, yeah.
Is for what? Can you ask again?
Subordinating conjunction or coordinating conjunction.
That is what I am telling you. For an element like for is not a conjunction. It's a preposition. Understand?
But we have for fanboys as an acronym where F stands for in coordinating conjunction.
Sorry, say it again.
Sir, we have fanboys as an acronym, right? in for to remember the coordinating conjunctions. Correct? Where F stands for.
What stands for? F stands for, okay?
Yeah, and subsequently A for and for nor and so on, so forth.
So, for example, like in a sentence, if we could not go for an outing for the weather was not good. Okay, so in this case, for then becomes a coordinating conjunction. I think
I understand. That is what I am trying to say.
Huh.
Whether what it becomes depends on a given sentence. In this sentence, it is only a preposition. Understand, Krishna?
Yes, sir. I got your point, and that's what I'm trying to say. That first question was, I mean, different, and this is different. The statement, I mean, in this one is in general. I'm asking for.
So that I am giving you an answer to that. If it becomes a coordinating thing, that depends on a sentence, but in that sentence, it is not a conjunction. Even the sentence that Lida just gave, it is not a conjunction marker.
Okay, sir.
And
Let
the
me give you
the example that you are talking about, I am not aware of that example, so I cannot comment.
Sir, may I give an example? I'm having one in mind.
But I don't get the point that why are you hung up on this coordination and not coordination? I don't get that.
Because sir, I was solving a few questions and I was always getting wrong at for identifying for as
Tell me what question are you solving?
The question was he was scolded for he was late.
Sorry?
He was scolded for he was late.
So here, for is working like a relative marker. You can replace for by y also. He was getting scolded. You can have another one because why he was late. So it's what I am trying to tell you is what the function of a particular preposition becomes. And if it acquires any other function, in that case, it does not remain a preposition. So if you want to know a little bit more advanced study of prepositions, there are papers, research papers, and other things written about preposition that you can study on your own. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes, sir. I want to ask a question from English too.
Okay, please go ahead.
The week 2 practice assignment, activity assignment 2.5, question number 3. The word quite is a degree adverb. True or false?
Read the sentence, please, again.
Quite is a word.
Okay.
The word quite is a degree adverb. True or false?
I'm sorry, I did not hear the sentence. Sentence again? What is your word?
The word quite is a degree adverb. True or false?
Lida, does this
The
question?
word quiet, sir. The word quiet is a degree adverb.
The word quiet. Okay. The word quiet. What kind of adverb is that?
Degree adverb.
Degree adverb. Okay. Give her an example of why it is a degree adverb.
The word quite can show you the extent to which something. So if I say it is quite hot today, so I am giving you the extent to which I feel the heat, right? So any word that shows an extent to some, which can show a degree or extent, that's called a degree adverb. So quite is an example. Almost is an example. Rather is an example. Very is an example. All of them are degree adverbs.
Okay, ma'am, but the answer I choose true, but it shows that it's wrong answer.
Right, so that we'll look into. The answer is true. It has to be true.
There may be some technical glitch on the system. which is making it wrong. But the word quiet is a degree adverb.
But you're sure it's quiet and not quiet, right? So the spellings could be. I'll check this one. Don't worry. If it is wrong, then we'll make a change to that. Okay.
Did you understand,
Okay,
Sonali?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Because there are two words which are different from one another: quiet and quiet. Q-U-I, what is the spelling letter? Q-U-I-E-T and Q-U-I-T-E. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. These are two different words. So please check what's there in that question.
Sir, in question Q-U-I-E-T.
Then that's a different thing.
That's a different word.
This is not.
Then your answer is false. Then the answer
Means
is
it's false, right?
Right.
Yes. Then it is false.
So, ma'am, please explain.
What do you want to explain in that?
Why it is not a degree adverb?
Because it is a different thing. It's not even an adverb. Is it an
Okay,
adverb?
sir. Got it.
It can be an adjective or a noun sometimes. Both.
Correct.
Quite placed. So.
Adjective.
Yes, an adjective.
More like an adjective. Understand, Sonali?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else, guys? No? Okay. So can we close, Lida?
Yes, sir. We can.
All right, guys. So we'll look at the possibilities of changing or.
Excuse me, sir and ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, I want to one request from your side that bring a session from on a topic of past of figure of a speech. I'm inadequate to solve the problem of this on this topic.
There will be a session. You'll have it in about a week or so. The part of the Learn the Rope session, you'll have one on that.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir.
Sure. No problem.
All right, guys. So we'll see you again next week. If there is any change, we'll update you.
Okay, sir.
All right, guys. Bye. Take care. Can we?
Yes, sir. I'll ask them to close the meeting.
Bye.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.